Terry Davidson to the stand, please.
Why in the world would he call Terry? I don't have the slightest idea.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Be seated.
You're a nurse, isn't that correct, Mrs. Davidson?
Yes, I'm the director of nursing at Kingsley General Hospital.
I assume that's a very responsible position.
Yes, there's a lot of responsibility with the job.
And being that it is such a responsible position, I imagine you have to be a good judge of character.
What do you mean?
I mean, for example, judging relationships. The relationship between the administration and the staff, the doctors, the nurses.
I think anyone in a managerial position should be able to do that.
I agree. And that's just what I want to explore with you today, Mrs. Davidson. Relationships. In particular, your relationship with the defendant, Dr. David Phillips. Have you ever worked with Dr. Phillips professionally?
Yes, I have.
Frequently or infrequently?
Infrequently, when compared to the other doctors on staff at Kingsley General. Dr. Phillips runs the Chesterfield Free Clinic, and he visits the hospital only occasionally.
Oh, then you don't have much of an opportunity to see him.
No, that's not true.
Oh, really? Can you explain?
I've known Dr. Phillips for several years, both in a professional and social manner.
A social manner? What kind of a social manner? Would you say you're friends?
Yes.
Good friends?
I'd say we're very good friends.
Did you know the defendant's estranged wife?
You mean his ex-wife?
Yes. Catherine Phillips Carruthers.
Yes, I knew Kate also.
And were you also a good friend to her?
I'd say we were more acquaintances.
Oh, so you were an acquaintance of the victim. And a very good friend to the accused. Well, answer the question, Mrs. Davidson.
Naturally, I was better friends with Dave than I was with Kate because I see him more.
Well, that seems only natural. Friendships, relationships grow the more time you spend with someone. That's the basis of a good marriage, wouldn't you say?
I'd say that's the basis of any good relationship.
Would you say you spent more time with the defendant since the death of Kate Phillips Carruthers, or less?
I've tried to be more supportive of him, if that's what you mean.
I mean, did you spend more or less time after the murder?
More.
And he was a good friend before the murder of his wife. I mean his ex-wife.
Yes.
Well, using your own definition of how a good friendship grows, you became better friends with him after the death of his ex-wife. Just how much better a friend are you?
I don't think I could accurately measure that in degrees.
Well, if not in degrees, then in intimacy.
In the sense that I've seen more of him, more often, yes, I suppose I have come to know him more intimately.
And has he come to know you more intimately?
I don't know. He's been very burdened by the death of his ex-wife and the pressures of this trial. I don't think his attitude towards me has changed, but you'd have to ask him.
Oh, I intend to. Believe me.
I don't like what he's inferring, Harold.
Neither do I, Dave, but we'll have our chance.
Tell me, Miss Davidson, just what are your feelings toward the defendant?
I believe I've already answered that. We're friends.
Good friends.
Yes.
Good enough to be called intimate friends. Even though you can't measure that intimacy by degrees, I think the jury wants to know just how intimate you are with the defendant. I think the jury demands to know whether you and Dave Phillips are in love, because if you are, then that brings an entirely new motive to this case.
Julia was here?
That's what she said her name was.
God, I mean, how did she even find out where you live?
I don't know. I guess she must have followed you once or twice.
Oh, no, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, we haven't lived under the same roof for months now, and suddenly she turns up jealous?
Well, what makes you think she was jealous?
What else could she be when she comes here and sees how much younger and prettier you are? Huh?
Do you really mean that?
Oh, Nancy, there's no contest. Listen, I hope she didn't make you upset, Nancy. Gosh, listen, you can't
Well-
believe a word she says. Trust me, not a word.
Well, what she said was that when you told her you were planning on getting a divorce, she tried everything she could to patch up your marriage.
Oh, yeah, like not serving me breakfast looking like the wrath of Khan, I guess, huh?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe. I guess she tried a few things to make things better there toward the end, but...
Well, whatever she did to try and win you back, she said that eventually you were starting to respond positively.
I wasn't responding positively to her, Nancy. I've been ecstatic because I'm in love with you, you know?
That's what she said.
She did, well, good for her. That's one thing in her life she said that was true. Nancy, this woman is a pathological liar. I mean, get this. I've had to bail her out of jail half a dozen times for shoplifting. Can you believe that? And every time it happened, her story was, well, she just couldn't figure out how the merchandise got into her purse. I mean, talk about professional embarrassment. Listen, she didn't threaten you physically. I mean, did she?
No, it was nothing like that. And in fact, I really felt sorry for her.
Oh, yeah, the old forlorn little waif routine. Is that what she tried?
Well, I guess she was just trying to win you back.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she knows now after seeing you that there's no chance of that. Listen, come here. Believe me, Nancy, don't pay any attention to anything that she said. And she can't any more control her lying than she can her liquor. Yeah. The only thing that I want you to think about is that the day I met you, that was my day of deliverance, you know? And I'm gonna go as soon as I can to Mexico and get a divorce. And that means in 3 days from then, I'll come back here and we will be married. Huh? And then we can both leave our horrible pasts behind.
Okay.
All right? Okay.
I know what Dave Phillips has been through, and I want to help him. Using that definition of a godly or Christian love, yes, I love him.
A godly, a Christian love. I go to church, as I'm sure a lot of the people here do. But I never let my religious beliefs stand in the way of my personal life. That is, what I mean is I believe that religion is a personal matter.
Well, my faith is a personal matter too, Mr. Lockwood. But it's a biblical one that I try not to separate from my daily life.
Well, in that case, doesn't the Bible speak out against divorce?
Absolutely. In fact, there's a passage where God says he hates divorce.
Does that include the divorce of Dave and Kate Phillips?
Well, yes, but there are
But
other...
what? Well, hasn't Dave Phillips recently taken to the same biblical notions that you hold?
Yes, he has.
And isn't it those same biblical notions that have brought you two into a more intimate relationship?
Yes.
So it's my contention that because Dave Phillips holds the same biblical notions, that it would be far easier for him to enter into an intimate relationship with you if his ex-wife were dead.
Objection, Your Honor!
That's all, Your Honor. No further questions.
You wish to cross-examine Mr. Webster?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. I certainly do. Ms. Davidson, the district attorney has suggested that your intimate relationship with Dr. Phillips here was not as you described it. I want to put that to rest right now. Have you ever had a sexual relationship with the defendant?
No, I haven't.
Thank you. Now, Ms. Davidson, did you know Dr. Phillips before his conversion experience 2 years ago?
I've known him over the years, certainly, because he's in the medical profession, but I didn't know him personally.
So the picture that you had of him several years ago was substantially different than the one you have of him right now.
Definitely so.
I see. And you attribute that difference to his newfound faith?
That's correct.
Ms. Davidson, I don't pretend to be a real religious person, but I was intrigued to find out that it says in the Bible that God hates divorce. Now, is that all that God has to say on that subject in his holy writ?
No, that's not all. And that's what I was trying to convey before Mr. Lockwood cut me off.
Oh, my goodness, would you just take advantage of the opportunity right now to amend that breach in courtroom etiquette?
Well, the first thing I want to say is that divorce is a very touchy subject with both believers and non-believers. But there are certain instances in which divorce or the leaving of one's mate is allowed, at least to my understanding of God's word. Jesus stated very specifically that we were not to divorce our mates, except in cases of adultery. But the book of 1 Corinthians, Paul gave some instruction to believers who were married to non-believers who wished to leave. And that's my point. You see, Dave Phillips became a believer, and his wife, Kate, never did. When he tried to get back with her, she couldn't accept him because of the difference in values he'd had since his conversion.
Values that were substantially different than hers.
Yes, on everything from abortion to, well, how to counsel their daughters.
And Kate didn't want to reconcile?
No. She divorced him the first time, and then when he tried to get back with her, she left him again.
For Lee Carruthers?
Yes. You see, the book of 1 Corinthians specifically states that if a believer is married to a non-believer, and the non-believing partner, such as Kate was, wishes to leave, that he may let her go.
So for his religious conviction, Dr. Phillips would not have found it necessary to have his wife out of the way if he wanted to remarry, if that were to be his choice.
Not at all.
Thank you, Ms. Davidson. I don't have any more questions, Your Honor.
Now, I tell you, Nancy, after this Mexican divorce, that woman is going to be out of both of our lives for good, I promise you.
Well, I'd like to believe that,
But what? I love you, Nancy. I mean, you have changed my life. And I hope that maybe to some little degree, at least, I've changed yours, too, you know?
you have, Dan. You know, you really make me feel like I'm somebody, and
Good.
I don't know. I'll always love you for that. I will.
Then marry me, Nancy. Huh? Oh, wait. I know exactly what you want. Here, sit down, sit down. You want a formal proposal, don't you? All right, watch out. Here it comes. Look at this.
Stop kidding around.
I am not kidding around, Nancy. I love you. With every ounce of my being, I want you to be my wife, huh? Huh? Come on. Look, I'm sorry, I don't have an engagement ring on me right at the moment, but when we get finished with Ben Martin in that malpractice suit and we collect, I'm going to buy you a rock that is going to make that stuff that Mr. T wears look like costume jewelry, okay? Come on, how about it, huh?
You're good for me. You know that? You
Good,
just make me laugh. I don't feel like I have to wear a mask anymore, you know?
And listen to me. Come here. Don't you ever put a mask on that beautiful face of yours. Or on the beautiful person that's inside. Huh?
I guess the reason that I'm so hesitant is, well, because I can see someone like myself in your wife.
Well, then you're Dr. Jekyll and she's Mr. Hyde.
No,
That's
come
all.
on, hear me out. I guess from what you're saying, she's so deceived that she just can't help deceiving other people. You know, I used to be like that myself. I guess since I've had this accident and nearly lost my life, I could kind of see what people are like inside, you know?
Well, listen, Nancy. Julia is exactly what she seems to be. She is a callous, bitter woman. And her venality is only surpassed by her self-righteousness. Just forget that, Nancy. Listen to me. I need you. Please, let me into your life. I want to be part of your life forever.
All right.
question her again. Well?
Look, your suggestion to call Terry Davidson to the stand was a valid one. But in future, I'd appreciate it if you'd let me develop my own case.
But the way her attorney cross-examined her made her look like Mother Teresa, for heaven's sake. Look, I know she's aching to get to my father.
Well, I've shown they spent a lot of time together, and I think that fact should outweigh her pious testimony.
It better.
Harold, I'm worried about Terry. Did you see the way she walked out of here?
Oh, no, but I think she did real well on the stand. I think the jury believed her.
Really? After what he tried to infer?
What, that you and Terry were having an affair? I don't think they bought that. I think that my cross-examination established her character and credibility.
But I'm still worried about Terry. I mean, she was humiliated up there, and well, I think I should try to talk to her. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Well, I could sure use one, especially one as cute as this little bundle of joy. Hi, how's my big boy? Will you look at those eyes?
I'd like to say I was just driving around and stopped in, but my actions were a little more premeditated than that.
Oh?
I figured you've been spending so much time in court that you probably didn't have much time to cook. So we're gonna have a little Chinese. Take a whiff. Yummy, huh?
Oh, honey, that's so thoughtful of you.
Oh, nothing.
And cooking was the last thing I felt like doing today.
Yeah, I figured that. How did it go today?
Don't ask.
Is that bad?
Yeah. The district attorney called me as a witness.
What in the world for?
That's what I was thinking. I mean, I knew Harold Webster was going to call me as a character witness for Dave, but I didn't expect the district attorney to call me.
Here, let me take Scotty back.
No, honey, I just really need to look at something that's innocent and pure.
Mom, what happened?
Well, to put it in a sentence, Mr. Lockwood tried to infer that there was something going on between me and Dave, more than there really is.
Yeah.
Honey, would you get that? I just don't feel like talking to anybody right now.
Of course I will.
Thanks. There goes Mama. Oh, you little cute.
What do you mean you're too tired?
Exhausted would probably be a better word.
Never mind the excuses. Just tell me what happened, will you?
Babs, well, why don't you read a copy of the court transcript? How's that?
Well, why don't you climb over on your exercise bike there until you feel like opening up?
Okay. Look, did the Salzburg contract come through?
Yes, and I filed it.
How about McCormick? Did he call?
Negative. Now, will you tell me?
I gotta get hold of McCormick. I got a hunch I want to follow up on.
Look, I will personally call him myself as soon as you give me all the details. Now, shoot.
Okay. I now know for sure that Lee Carruthers was lying about being with Kate at the Avalon Springs Hotel. I know that he registered there and everything on the first night of the honeymoon, but Jean found out later that neither he nor Kate actually slept in the room. But my best ace in the hole is the fact that when I start my cross-examination on Friday, Andrea Summers' testimony that she was having an affair with Lee Carruthers while he was engaged to Kate Phillips, it just might take the heat off Dave. She also told me that she thought Lee Carruthers could have killed Kate.
Look, I've been saying that all along. I always thought he was a snake in the grass.
Good for you. Now get McCormick on the phone for me, will you?
Yeah. Hello, Mac. Hi, this is Babs. Look, Harold wants to talk to you, okay?
Hey, Mac, how you doing? Good. Look, now, you remember that unidentified set of fingerprints that they found on the panic bar, the back door of the Phillips girls' apartment house? Okay, I want you to beat it over to the police station and get me a copy of those. Now, Mac, I know we don't know who they belong to. That's why I want you to get them so we can identify the person. Yeah, well, Mac, I think when we do that, we'll have a pretty good idea who the murderer is.
I'm sorry about what happened today. If there was some way I could have stopped him from putting you through that, I would have.
I guess that's what they think of us.
No, it's not what they think. It's what Amber thinks. I saw her talking to the district attorney after you had left. I'm sure she had something to do with your being called.
Here, Mom, let me take Scotty.
Okay, honey. Thanks.
Come on, baby. Come on.
When Locke would try to infer that there was something between us other than our friendship, I wanted to go out and lay him out.
Oh, Dave.
I know it's not right, but I just wanted you to know.
Hey, Dave. Would you like to stay for dinner? We've got plenty.
No, I think I better not. I just wanted to let you know that. Terry, thank you for everything that you've meant to me.
He's quite a guy. We're blessed to know him.
Yeah,
Mom, can I ask you something?
sure.
Do you think that someday you'll ever become more than friends?
It's Marshall Lockwood.
Well, I wonder if he wants to apologize for making a saint like Terry Davidson look like a kept woman.
What?
Yeah, I'll tell you later. Give me the phone. Well, Marshall, I was wondering when you were going to call and apologize.
Well, so was I. About what?
For inferring a relationship between Terry Davidson and Dr. Phillips. I hope you learned a lesson or two from my cross-examination.
Well, we'll find out from the jury who needs to learn a lesson when this is all over, Harold. In the meantime, I thought it would expedite things if we met just before you presented your defense on Friday.
What for?
I don't want to discuss it over the phone. Let's just say it'll be well worth your while.
Oh, okay, if that's what you want.
No, Harold, I think it's more what you want. See you then?
Yeah.
Bye.
You are watching Middle East Television.